about a Kell Brook versus Manny Pacquiao fight. We are ready to go with that right now, but I think they like the idea of fighting Horn first, so we will now try and work for an autumn fight. Those are the words of Eddie Hearn. Apparently, as you heard there, he says he's in talks with Bob Arum for a Kell Brook Manny Pacquiao fight later on in 2017. He says he'd like the fight immediately. Him and Brook are ready for that right now. But Bob Arum and Pacquiao apparently want to fight Horn first, or at least Pacquiao. And a similar situation, I think, with Terence Crawford, that they could have fought Crawford next. I'm talking about Pacquiao here, but they'd rather fight Jeff Horn first. Maybe it's a case of Pacquiao shaking off rust. Maybe it's a case of Pacquiao trying to build up his public profile, his market value, trying to up his market value again before he goes in there in a really risky fight. Anyway, I'm going to quote now Lindsey E. Tucker, who is a representative of the IBF. He says Errol Spence Jr. won 2 elimination bouts to become the mandatory challenger. So he's the mandatory. It was due on the December 26th, but unfortunately Kell Brook got injured, so we have to give him some additional time. There is no deadline. We notify him in February to start negotiations. The ball starts to roll. So those are the words of Lindsey E. Tucker addressing the whole Errol Spence Kell Brook situation. So negotiations have to start in February for Kell Brook. But he did say that there's no deadline, which is strange. Now, as far as Kell Brook versus Pacquiao, again, this is a case of Kell Brook looking for every other option rather than fight Errol Spence. He's been looking at Amir Khan. He's been looking at Manny Pacquiao. And as far as the Pacquiao fight, this is a fight that Kell Brook has wanted for a long time. This is a fight Kell Brook and his team have been talking about for a long time. This is not something that's just come out the blue. I remember before Kell Brook was champion, long before he was champion, him talking about fighting Pacquiao. So it's something he's been wanting for a long time. How do you see a Kell Brook Pacquiao fight going? Do you think Kell Brook has got what it takes to beat a Manny Pacquiao at this stage of Pacquiao's career? Some people will believe so, but there'll be a lot of other people out there who will say no. Pacquiao's still got the measure of somebody like Kell Brook. I guess for me personally, a lot would depend on how Kell Brook looks in his next fight, coming off that tough encounter with Gennady Golovkin, which he obviously lost. So a lot for me would depend on that. But if he is the way he was in the Sean Porter fight, then I give him a very good chance of beating Pacquiao right now. Pacquiao's not the same anymore. I know he just beat Tim Bradley, but I feel like he's always had Tim Bradley's number. And I know he just beat Jesse Vargas, but I've never really rated Jesse Vargas that highly. In fact, Jesse Vargas lost to Tim Bradley quite comprehensively, although he landed a big right hand in the 12th. He lost every minute of every other round in that fight, pretty much. So I'm not trying to downplay Pacquiao's recent wins, but I'm just putting him into perspective. I think that Kell Brook would be a much tougher opponent if he's still what he was before the Golovkin fight. I think he'll be a much tougher opponent for Pacquiao than Tim Bradley or Jesse Vargas. Just my view. Let me know what your view is in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.